Good morning, all you Toastmasters out there and potential Toastmasters. I am your host today, evidently. My name is Phyllis Tribby, and I am a past district director and a distinguished Toastmaster. I'm not sure where our co-host is, Scott Tranzu. He may have misunderstood that I had a guest for today and decided that meant that I was going to take the program alone. So hopefully if he's out there listening, he will come on and help with this interview. My guest today happens to be a new area director, but I believe he's done many other things. Please welcome Doc McClenaghan.
It's fine. Nobody can ever pronounce it. That's I'm a writer too, and I'm actually in negotiation for a possible book deal, and I've shortened that last name to McClenaghan.
McClenaghan, okay.
Yeah,
maybe
so
I can get
you
that
know
one.
Doc McClenaghan if you want, because that's my pen name. Arthur's my human name, but Doc's my nickname.
There is Scott. All right, welcome, Scott.
Hello, sorry about that, gang. I had a little technical glitch. It happens.
Certainly understand that. I've just introduced Doc. If you would like to go ahead with the interview.
Sure, I can do that.
Good morning.
Doc, how are you, buddy?
Fantastic. How about you, Scott?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. Thanks for joining us this morning. Number one, it is nice, bright and early on Thursday. I always ask, I guess, the same question when we get going here. And I love the answers because they're always unique. Very simply, Doc, why did you join Toastmasters? And what did you hope to get out of it when you joined?
Scott, back in 2003, I was a Las Vegas cab driver. I had driven for, 15 years when a rash of cab drivers were murdered. And I decided to put together a project for the security cameras. Next thing I know, I was dealing with the media and politicians. The first time I saw myself on Channel 13 News stuttering, I figured it was time to join Toastmasters. And it changed my life, literally. Over the years. Even though I had left Toastmaster for many years, what I learned in that few years and set me on the right course. And then I recently joined about a year ago.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so what club are you a part of at this point?
Henderson Toastmasters.
Hey, little shout out to Henderson Toastmasters. Cool.
Great club, president club, wonderful people. The reason I joined them, I joined two, but I ended up sticking with them because they were the first in person back before. I like public speaking in person.
Sure.
Hence the term public speaking.
Right. Now, obviously, you've got the speech development and the speech skills coming together. You have now taken on leadership within our district as an area director. So what in the world propelled you to become an area director within District 115?
Well, since I run a nonprofit and I for a living, I don't make money. I figured I'd join area director and not make money. No, I want to give back to other people who want to learn about public speaking, and I figure the more people I know, the better. And if I can help the district, I love Toastmasters, so if I can help the district in any way, it's great. In fact, I'll be joining Holistic Club on Monday. That'll be the first one I'm visiting as area director, so I'm excited.
Cool, very cool. I want to word this correctly here. What do you see your role as area director being? I know there's the official kind of the job description, if you will, But how do you see it with your personality, with your own personal goals within Toastmasters? How do you see the job, if you will, evolving over this next year, specifically for Doc?
I believe that people just need to know their support.
Okay.
And I used to, like in my early days in my 20s, and moved out to Vegas, and I was chasing money and stuff. And I feel like area director is just a way to give back to the whole community as Toastmasters help each club grow. And sometimes all they need is an encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's the little things that make the difference. It's not the big things. So over the years, I think I've focused on the little details over the big details. I have a big picture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want the best district, the best. You know, at the same time, I've learned, I think, let me back up. When I first started setting goals years ago, when I was fat, lazy cab driver, I used to be 100 pounds heavier. I was taught, you know, set goals, right? So I would set these goals and couldn't, you know, and then you don't achieve them and then you get frustrated. And I've learned, like even with our charity we started 5 years ago, if you take one minor thing at a step at a time, that just adds up. And that's what I want to offer. Just if somebody needs a little bit of help in an area, just a little bit of encouragement. That's all it takes.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese call it, it's like constant, never-ending improvement. That's what they did with Toyota. They years ago, after World War II, they built on that concept. If we just do very little improvements every day, we'll become the people or the company that we need to be.
Very true. I like that slogan too. Now you're being humble here, and you're a humble guy. I get that. I've known you for a while, and the district is getting to know you as we speak, and they will get to know you even better as the year goes on. But you do have a charity, Holy Smokes, it's called, I believe, or Holy Smoke.
Yeah, it's on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. It's Holy Smoke Vegas.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The legal name is Holy Smoke Misfit Missionaries, and the name came from, we started with a group of comedians working with the homeless, and if you ever met a comedian, they're definitely misfits. And it's been a great mix between, because we do a lot of social media. We've been aired on A&E, and it's been a beautiful mix between, it's a sad thing we're dealing with, but by bringing in comedians, the idea was to raise awareness without depressing people too long, to keep them involved. You know, even I can't sit there and watch 2 hours of depression. So I need some hope. And
sure,
we've had an amazing, we started 5 years ago, and everything's starting to come back, or everything's starting to come together.
So you're serving the homeless population in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Specifically those who are residing in the tunnels, I believe.
Correct.
And yeah, please.
So there's 250 miles of tunnels for anybody that doesn't know about the tunnel system beneath Vegas, storm drains, and approximately 2,000 people living in them. Very dangerous, obviously, with the storm. That storm that came through last week was the first real storm that flushed out the tunnel since before the pandemic. That goes to show how long the drought is. They lost everything. The resilience, they rebuild their camps within days. But yeah, we do specialize with the underground tunnel communities, and people wonder why people go to the tunnels. It's go out in 110-degree weather. It's like you either put your life in danger because of the heat, or you put your life in danger with the flooding. And with the heat that we have here, more die from heat exposure than anything else.
Right. So I'm really curious how the charity came to be. How did you decide? What made you decide to start it and such? I mean, I know the motivation is to help, but how did
Yeah.
it come about? That's really curious.
It goes back to at a very unusual childhood. My mom was probably like, looking back, she was probably bipolar, but she was always my mom was always the first person to help somebody, and she had high standards that could be real intense. But she would bring people right out of prison, right off the streets to live with us growing up. And growing up, they became family, these people that moved in with us, but at the same time, I remember thinking, I just want to be the normal kid in the neighborhood. Why we got to have all these people living with us? Although I do remember when I was 15 years old and my mom had brought this bank robber home, and she was a beautiful blonde. I was thinking, now we're talking, Mom. No, but so my mom was always an advocate, always there for people. She was a director of Salvation Army, and I didn't have any desire to be involved in it. It sounded too depressing. And about 5 years ago, my wife and I were working with homeless on our own, but nothing organized. And I was out for a beautiful day, jog with Starbucks, and I stopped in the middle of the jog. I said, holy smoke, we'll take our comedian friends and work with the homeless in the underground tunnels, and we'll change homelessness in America. And my wife looked at me like I was a little nuts. And well, she looks at me like that a lot, Scott. But it was just an idea. We had never been in the tunnels at the time. It was just, I felt like it was, to make change, you have to grab people's attention. And Gary Vaynerchuk, I don't know if you know who he is, but he's the #1 social media guy out there. And he always says it's, whether it be social media or any marketing, it's about getting eyes looking at any way you can. So I remember posting one picture on Instagram of the tunnels. 5 years later, we're featured on A&E, and now I'm literally in October, I'm giving a speech that includes members of United States Congress. So it's like, it's true. It's pure one, like I said, constant improvement. I remember posting one video and I had no idea how to edit a video, one at a time. And now our social media is growing. We're, 12,000 on Instagram and 10,000 on TikTok. If anybody ever doubts social media, from a guy who posted one pic at a time where it seemed like it wasn't doing anything, the people that are making it, the power people that are getting behind us, all came off Instagram. Literally, our attorney on our board, who's running for judge, Anna Forrester, one of the smartest people I know, she found us on Instagram, and next thing you know, she's on our board and she's introducing us to the power players in Nevada and the United States. So it's all about one step at a time.
True, very true. And that's how that's how we all evolve in Toastmasters. It's
right.
It's
Exactly.
One step. It's raising your hand. It's the next speech. It's the next role. It's the next thing.
That brings up Toastmasters. Yeah. Say something else about Toastmasters. I had belonged to go, and they helped me get through the camera process. But for years I didn't belong to them, and I've done stand-up comedy. So I was thinking, in a way, I don't need Toastmasters anymore. And I came back a year ago and I found out how much I really needed Toastmasters. I'm so much more relaxed on stage. I don't do much comedy now, but the last time I did comedy, I was just very like, how you get in front of when you first go to a Toastmaster meeting, you're nervous, but after you get used to it, you're very comfortable up there. And if you could do it in front of a Toastmaster room and learn how to do it, you could do it in front of any room. So yeah, definitely consistency would have, like Phil is 25 years. I would have been a much better speaker if I had just been consistent for 25 years. Even if I had showed up once a month for 25 years, that consistency would have paid off.
So how many speeches have you done thus far through Pathways?
I don't remember. I just completed Visionary
Okay.
Pathways. I'm starting actually because I'm actually starting a new one, but I'm actually in the process of practicing the speech for the one I have coming up for the movers and shakers, the Congress members. So right now I've been more focused on trying to get that speech prepared, and I'm trying to tie it into Pathways, but at the same time, it's a big speech I have to learn.
Right. Now, you mentioned your charity being featured on national television,
Yes.
A&E network, I believe it was, you said.
Yes.
I'm really, and I have been curious about this for quite some time. How did that come about? Did they contact you, or what happened?
There you go. It's one thing leads to another. A few years ago, my wife, Teresa, my wife Teresa was out in a park working with the sister charity, the big old ladies, and this Dutch film crew was introduced to her because they said, well, they were kind of a company. They were same company that owned America's Got Talent. So this was like a real film company. They were here in Vegas filming. They go around the world. It's like a Vice TV, and they would film the other side of the cities. So they joined us in a tunnel. This was a Netherlands film crew, not thinking much about it. We introduced them to this girl named Stephanie, very sweet girl who lived underneath the Las Vegas sign at the time. And next thing you know, I was driving Uber part-time, and I get somebody in my Uber, and I was talking about what we do, and they asked if we knew Jenny Lee, the porn star. I'm like, no. And turns out this girl was in the top 100 porn stars of all time, and the story went viral. And that's how the A&E people found us, from that article, which was in first place in Netherlands. It wasn't even in English, except for the girl. But it's funny how if Teresa hadn't been in the park that day to get this film crew to film all the way from Netherlands to film back here to get A&E here. So what happened at the time was A&E was doing a whole season in Vegas, and they had heard about the tunnel. So they contacted us, said, do we know anybody that would, possibly interested in doing, you have to present the documentary. And I said, I know this girl, Amanda, who lived underneath the Hard Rock hotels, which is now the Virgin, for 2 years. And we had just got in touch. Her mom had just contacted us from Minnesota. So I sent them her family's information in Minnesota. We got Amanda on a phone to speak to the casting director. And all you do is tell her it's a documentary. Would you like to do a documentary? Okay. Talk about never giving up or thinking when all odds are against. This was one of those episodes. All odds were against us because Amanda had a method addiction, but Amanda is one of the most charismatic people I've ever met. And I'm a limo driver in LA, Vegas, and cab driver. I've met a lot of people. But day one, she was high on meth, and she told her whole life story. But I'd like to back up on Amanda before you just look at somebody as a homeless meth addict. Amanda is a Midwest beautiful girl, beautiful family. And when she was 18, her ex took her 3-week-old baby and crippled it for life. And Amanda, obviously devastated, but she did find an adoptive mom that could afford to take care of the expenses of the baby's special needs. But after that, Amanda started drinking. She came to Vegas. She made a lot of money as a street performer. And then got caught in trying to party the pain away, and that never works. Never. We all try to run from pain or party the pain away. You know, she's living in the tunnels for 2 years. Her mom, sister, and best friend in Minnesota didn't even know if she was dead or alive.
Mm.
So on day 3 of the film, it was a 9-day shoot with intervention in tunnels. They've never done anything like this. They're usually, for anybody that doesn't know intervention, they usually go into homes, do intervention at the end, surprise them, and try to get them into rehab. But they don't normally do it in an uncontrolled environment like a tunnel. So day 3, our girl, one of our volunteers, Tony, was sitting with the director and Amanda's boyfriend when a fight broke out. Somebody slugged the boyfriend, came charging in the tunnel, slugged the boyfriend. And our volunteer, Tony, a young, tough girl, broke up the fight. Amanda disappeared after that. Day four, I got a call from Amanda's family. Amanda's mom had just arrived in Vegas with her sister and best friend from Minnesota. We didn't know where Amanda was. My heart sunk. We met, Teresa and I, my wife met mom's sister, best friend that night on camera. Beautiful meeting, but we didn't tell them Amanda was missing. It's only day 4 out of 9. No reason to worry about it. Day 5 comes along, day 6 comes along, day 7 comes along. No sign of Amanda. Now we're doing a pre-intervention meeting. My wife, Mr. Intervention, family, mom, sister, best friend, and I get to be the one to deliver the heartbreaking news that after they flew out here, we have no clue where Amanda is. They go, you can see the hope in their eyes on camera go from a little bit of hope to devastated. Sister's crying, I just wanted to see her. And then I'll wrap up on this. On day 8, no sign of Amanda. They even show me going up on an escalator. It's starting to look like the end of the line. Day 9, we're meeting with the family. It's supposed to be the morning of the intervention. We're sitting with the mom, sister, best friend, Teresa, no Amanda. Day 9 out of 9. Family's going back home the next day. You know, it's over. Crew's going back to LA. Mom's devastated. And little did the mom know that very night, Amanda got arrested. That very final night. So the scene was 4 o'clock, day 9 out of 9, when all hope was lost. We were sitting in our car outside the jail. The attorney made a few calls. They got her released. And 3 cameras circling around the jail behind the Golden Nugget, sound boom, mom, sister, best friend. Amanda doesn't know anything's out there. And Amanda walks out the jail door, boom, there's everything. It was a very emotional reunion. Amanda, they did the intervention right on the streets of Vegas. Amanda said yes to rehab. Amanda's been clean for 2 years. In September, she's managing a sober living. And to this day, people are sending her messages on how the episode inspired her, including Teresa's hairdresser, who literally was talking to one of her clients and had mentioned what we do. And his daughter's best friend had got clean from watching that episode, just watching that episode. So we don't know what impact Amanda will have, but we always knew there was something about her. That's why I picked her. I felt like she was somebody who would not only just get out, but would be a game changer. And Amanda is going to do way more than we ever did. She's a very humble. She's putting her talents to use now, and she has purpose. So, you know, that tragedy, and she's in touch with the adoptive mom of her son, and the adoptive mom sends her pictures and stuff. So there you go. Sometimes and now one more thing that I really caught my last Christmas, Teresa and I were going down in the tunnels with a group, and it was we were going out to all the tunnels, and we started Christmas morning, and we could hear fighting in the tunnels. Like, oh, this is a great way to start Christmas, right? And we hear all this chaos and fighting. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to start like this. And I get a phone call. And it was Amanda's mom she was thanking us because Amanda had flown home for the holidays for the first time in years. So, and so that was a beautiful Christmas gift. And I was like cheerful dealing with the chaos in the tunnels. But that's just one person, but there's all kinds of stories. But I didn't mean to go on that long story. But I love Amanda's story. I can't help it.
Yeah. Phyllis, you have anything you want to ask Doc? We're getting close to the bottom of the hour here.
I think it is marvelous, and it's a great story, your beginning, that it was one person and then it was two people, and it just grew and grew and grew. And so many times we hear the excuse from people that, oh, well, one person can't make a difference. And I think if we listen to your story and see how it has grown in your nonprofit, it's a marvelous thing to get us all wanting to volunteer and be that one person that helps others. And I can see where you're going to grow our area. I happen to be in two of the clubs in Doc's area, D2. So I'm looking for marvelous things for you and from our area. Do you have any plans at all? How often will you visit us?
I love meeting people, so I'm probably going to visit more than most area directors because I like. That's kind of why I really thought it'd be a great way to just get out and meet people and help people. It sounds like Scott said it's the best job. So if it's not, then he just talked me into it.
Yeah, you can blame me for, you can blame me. That's fine.
It is a good job. And the reason it's a good job is because you're meeting all of these people and finding out what their goals are. And do you have anything in your bag of tricks that will help them gain their goals? Another thing is communication. How do you communicate with your clubs? Is it always going to be emails or?
Emails, phone calls, that changes according to each person. I like to, if you notice, I send out an email, mostly will be emails. That's just time efficient. But like if you saw, I sent an email out to you and I sent an email out to everybody. And then I followed up with the phone call to go to the club. So it depends on the issue, how important it is. Of course, sometimes you need a phone call.
Well, you can guarantee that we will at Holistic and Toastmasters be there to support you, and we will ask you to support us. So I am very happy that you have taken on this role. I think your past will give us lots of intuitive things to work with in Toastmasters. So thank you for joining us.
And I love your genuine smile, warm energy that you have. It's very genuine. So thanks, Phyllis.
Okay. Any parting words, Doc, on this great Thursday morning for District 115?
When's your wedding, Scott? Next month? Is it next month or the month?
It's in October, sir.
August. Okay, 2 months. Okay.
It's a couple months away.
Seems like it's always 2 months away for like 2 years now or something.
Wow, you know how we guys are.
Yeah. She's a wonderful. For anybody that doesn't know Scott's bride, she's a super wonderful woman. And although he did, I also officiate weddings, and they gave me second dibs for the wedding. Like, yeah, I see how it is.
Yeah,
No, I love the guy who's doing the wedding. Is a great friend, and I'm very happy for him. So congratulations on your wedding, Scott.
I appreciate that, sir. All right, Phyllis, any announcements before we call the show?
Oh, yes, we're coming up to Enrichment Night, which is the second Saturday of the month, and I will be presenting. So please come and join us. If you have not received your newsletter for August, all the information will be there. Also how to get into the Zoom rooms and register. So yes, come and join us and see what I have to say about mentoring. But also, of course, we always have a course on pathways. So if you're a little bit shaky on pathways, that's the place to go and listen to a pathways presentation. And usually Ken Richardson does those, so it'll be interesting.
Outstanding. Doc, thanks again.
Thank you,
We'll
Doc.
be seeing more of you. Phyllis, as always, thank you for co-hosting, and we'll see all of you next time. Have a great day, all. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.